Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, 2K Sports proudly brings you NBA basketball from the home of the Hornets. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson, with David Aldridge roaming the sideline. Last game for the Hornets, they picked up the W against the Celtics. And there wasn't much question as to how that game was going to turn out. They absolutely put the hammer down on them.
And that one was all about offensive execution, running your plays, picking your spots.
And no team is going to shoot 50% every night, but this team has the right approach. When the shots are falling, they can light it up.
Just has a nose for the ball. Capella, skilled at gaining ideal position for those offensive rebounds.
Payton outside. Rodman grabs the rebound. It's Rodman with the ball for Charlotte. You know, Greg, one thing you notice, we were just talking about this with the Hornets in recent years, a lot of changing lineups.
And you expect that with the team, with where they're at. They're looking for any advantage game to game and trying to build that identity as a franchise.
The greatest shooter ever, Steph Curry. You played with him. What was it like seeing him day in and day out?
I had the pleasure of playing with Steph the first year he broke the NBA record for threes in a season. And when I tell you, he was just scratching the surface. He was always looking to push the boundaries, to see what he can do, and to work at every aspect of his shooting.
And here is Rodman, following the three-pointer by Bam Adebayo. Here's George. Charlotte no good that time either.
And he's very confident from that range, but he can't make it work.
Kicks it out to Rodman. Here's Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
Doesn't get any easier than this. Capella's work ethic is what allows him to get those dunks.
And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Caught up with Coach Charles Lee. I asked Coach about facing off against Bam Adebayo, and he told me the dangerous thing about Bam is his versatility. He's able to play different roles for his team depending on the matchup. And that versatility makes it difficult to game plan against him. Guys?
All right, David, thanks.
Bad screen.
And play Scott's whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
You gotta blow the whistle when it's that obvious. Great call there by the official.
Back to Payton. to Johnson. Here's the floater. 4 on the clock. Here's Adebayo. And Adebayo throws it down.
And contact can't slow Adebayo down. He's not afraid to get physical when he's attacking.
Outside, George. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now, here's Johnson. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Barnes outside. It's stolen by Rodman. George with the ball. Now defended by Adebayo. To the inside. Stolen by Smart. Inside. Barnes, right side. On the wing, Johnson. Adebayo down low. Can't cash in from close range.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Now, here's Ball. Still scoreless. It's Curry outside. The rebound by Johnson.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
And George gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Team foul.
And here is Payton. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Pass to Smart. Clock at 4. And the dunk by Barnes.
This kid has pops. Barnes gets airborne there and slams it down.
And here's George. 15 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3. And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. There's 14 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Second team foul. At the line for the Celtics, Gary Payton. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
You know, we don't talk about defense a ton, especially with guards. But Gary Payton, he can change a game with his D.
Now here's Porter. And stolen by Barnes. 1 quarter in the books. And it's been a close one so far. Celtics lead by 1.
11.
We'll be back.
Boston, 12.
And this has been a fairly close game for the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Credit the game plan coming in. They've identified some weaknesses, and they are exploiting them.
Here's Payton. And Ball sends it back.
And that massive wingspan coming into play there. Ball uses it to perfection to block shots.
Rodman outside. And there's a foul. It's on C.J. McCollum. That's his first foul. Greg, we know about the Euro step, but is the decel the next move that's getting more notice?
I think it is, Kevin, and you can see players have quickly incorporated that into their arsenal. It's been fun to watch, man, and I tell you, it creates some uncomfortable situations.
Near the three-point line, it's Porter, and Vucevic pulls it down. The Celtics with the lead, and the call will be against R.J. Barrett. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's a second, and I think they'll keep him in, but he's got to be careful. A third, and he'll sit for the rest of the half.
Payton looking it over. Now Toppin. Here's Vucevic. And Bull pulls it down. And a wide open look for Porter. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Rodman. Porter's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Kicks it out to Johnson. Pass to Payton. There's the screen. Back to McCollum. The three from Johnson. A three-pointer is right on target.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving in.
I've been on the edge of my seat, courtside. Man, this has been a barn burner.
Celtics foul.
And there's the foul. It's on Cameron Johnson.
First personal foul.
That's his first foul. Boston making a switch here. And timeout is called by Charles Lee. Looking for a breather and maybe just one or two things to talk about. George with the ball. Barrett wide open. He fires. Connects from three-point range. Barrett's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Payton inside. Outside, Smart. Hardaway with a wide open look. And again, Boston with the triple.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
And Gary Payton is going to pick up the foul.
Third team foul.
That's his first foul.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
George double team. Ball with a wide open look. The shot's good on the assist by George. And the Hornets lead by 2.
And he wasted no time getting those points back. Great response from Ball.
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. To the middle. Just 5 to shoot. Boston needs to get off a shot. And here's Adebayo outside. Misses his second shot in 4 attempts from the field. Pass the ball.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Outside Porter. Nice pass in by Charlotte. And it's Capella missing. And here's Payton. He'll bring it up for the Boston Celtics. Trailing by 2. And after this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. And that will conclude a 4-game road trip.
Look, scrappy play has always been a staple for Marcus Smart. He just loves to create contact and get in the fray.
And that one falls for Smart. When it comes to the league's most physical defenders, Richard, look no further than Marcus Smart.
Yeah, he's someone that has no problem sacrificing his body. Whether that's taking charges or diving after loose balls, he is relentless.
Curry from deep three-point land. And Boston with the rebound.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Hardaway for 3. That's a miss. He's made one and missed one. From deep three-point territory. JaVale McGee with the rebound.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Yeah, he might have been feeling himself a little too much on that one. He can hit it, but not consistently.
Outside Conley. Smart on the wing. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off the shot. 24-second violation. And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Boston making a switch here.
Substitution on the court.
And so here's Charlotte. Here's Curry. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game. Pass to Johnson. To the paint.
And one of the more active big men in our league. Adebayo never stops working.
G.A. Adebayo came from very humble beginnings.
Yeah, raised by his mother. And Kevin, Bam's main motivation in life was to get her out of that trailer. He worked extremely hard and now arguably a top 25 player.
Outside Curry for the three. Charlotte no good that time either.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
And this is what leaders do. Payton showing a willingness to get it to the open man.
And Stephen Curry with the foul.
Stephen Curry.
That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Team foul.
Oh, no, he's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
So both teams making some changes here. He doesn't get the second one. Up in time. The shot comes out, and that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Boston on top, up 4. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Celtics leading by 4. Launches it. Hits it to go from beyond the arc. Payton's got the first basket of the third quarter for Boston.
He can really stroke it from deep. You have to keep better tabs on him.
Down low. Ball. Lays it up off the glass. Ball's got 5 points so far.
Lots of quick moves inside by Ball to get into great position for the score.
It's McCollum on the wing. Johnson outside. Shot clock at 6. Here's Payton. Ball with the rebound. Hornets trail by 5. Pass to Curry. Lets the 3 fly. It's Adebayo with the rebound. McCollum outside. It's tipped. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ball.
Coming onto the floor.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
And deflections, they're a stat that all teams track. They show who is the most active defensively.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He wants to talk to his guy. Celtics making a switch here. Outside, Payton. Adebayo the screen. Just 4 to shoot. And the basket by Payton.
The floater is so tough to defend against. Nothing defenders can really do but shake their heads.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Right side, Barrett. Back to Curry. On the wing, Rodman. Charlotte needs to get a shot. Barrett, no good. And here's Payton. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. Johnson outside. Pass to Barnes. Now here's Smart. Wants to get it to Barnes and does. Adebayo has a 2-pointer. Ball with the rebound. So it's the Hornets now. Outside for Curry. On the wing, George. And it's Ball in the corner. with the teardrop. And it's George missing. And it's Paul George with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Boston leading by 7. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, a couple of seasons ago, Steph Curry first brought out the night-night when he put a team away. Asked about his inspiration, he said, I have no idea. I don't choreograph any of that stuff. I was just having fun. You know how kids' bedtime routines are important? It's the final signal for a job well done that day. Kevin?
Well said. He is a 1 of 1 in the A. Cans it from downtown. McCollum's got the lead up to 11 now for Boston.
McCollum has a nice feel for catch-and-shoot jumpers. That's a shot they want to create for him as much as possible.
And here's George for 3. And Boston with the rebound. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Johnson outside. No good from outside. Here's the Hornets with the ball. 11-point game. And if you listen to Cam Johnson talk about shooting, my goodness, RJ, he is a student of the game.
Studies a lot of different shooters, constantly analyzing his own footwork. And you know what? The result speaks for themselves.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. McCollum outside. Fires from deep. Paul George grabs the miss. Hornets trail by 11. Here's Porter. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Nice to see Porter Jr. get aggressive, not settle for a J, and take it into the defense.
Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
McCollum outside. Just 5 on the clock. In the corner, it's Toppin. The tray. And Curry pulls it down. And he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
A multiple-time champion and relentless competitor. Curry's drive to be an all-time great, well, he's pretty much there. Now, he's perfectly comfortable doing work at the line.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Boston leading by 8. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And here's McCollum. He averages about 5 points a game. He takes it in. The wide open look here for Vucevic. Back to McCollum. Good if it goes. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Celtics lead by
33.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this 4th period holds in store for us. And it's Curry with the ball, bringing it up for Charlotte. Trailing here by 8. Outside, ball. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Ball's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for Charlotte. Johnson outside. And it's Adebayo in the corner. Offline with his 3.
It hasn't been his best game, but his team is still doing just enough to be up.
That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
And that's only his first turnover of the game. And considering how far we are into the game, you can live with that.
And the Celtics with possession here. They've led by as many as 11 points. Here's Payton. And the layup's good off the glass.
Gary Payton.
And the Celtics lead by 8.
And superb strength there from Payton, absorbing the contact and keeping his composure for the finish.
And Gary Payton is going to pick up a foul.
Personal foul.
That's foul number 2 for him. They double-team Kerr. Here's Capella. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Second personal foul.
That one on Smart.
Second team foul.
And the defense Capella provides is huge. I mean, a legitimate shot-blocking threat who also rebounds the ball at an efficient rate. Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
Outside, Smart. It's good from long range.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
There's a screen. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. And so he hits the technical free throw. And many around the league believe Curry doesn't get enough fouls called in his favor. G.A., what do you think?
There could be some truth to that. He gets held and grabbed more than anyone when running off screens, but especially blatant on drives to the rim.
Drains the three-pointer.
In that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game.
Here's Payton. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Payton's got 9 points here in the second half.
Yeah, he's been locked all the way in from the floor, and he's the #1 reason why they're winning right now.
Pass to George. Beyond the arc. Rebound, Boston.
And he might have thrown himself off when he saw how much space he had from 3.
Payton with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Johnson. And a miss there on the triple. Hornets trail by 8.
And you know, George is a tough cover. The length, the range, smooth athlete, very difficult to match up with.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Boston.
All game. They've been making it rain from the arc. And look, they've done it by feeding the hot hands.
And you can't ignore how often they've been able to get to the free throw line, getting a lot of points from the charity stripe.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He's clearly intent on wanting to lock in and make sure everyone's on the same page. Boston making a switch here. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Hey, Kevin, able to listen in on what Joe Mazzulla was going over with his team. He was very fired up. He said, look, this is going to be a big win for us. We close this out, and we'll show the rest of the league who we are.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Back to Payton. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Hornets trail by 6. Outside, George. Over Johnson. Back to Ball.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Boston ball. In for Boston. Number 8, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Celtics leading by 6. Now with an update on Scotty Barnes from David Aldridge. David, what'd you find out?
Well, guys, I had a minute to catch up with the Celtics head athletic trainer. He said that he suffered a nasty bruise to the lower part of his back and that it's really stiffened up on him.
Injuries never come at a good time, but somehow it seems even more frustrating when they happen this early. Tough break for sure. Guys?
Thanks for the status report there, David. At least we now know, Greg, how he's doing.
Yeah, when you talk injury, the unknown factor is always a difficult thing to deal with.
And you never want to speculate. So it's nice for us, and especially his teammates, to get some facts. That is just a big shot for Ball. I like seeing him step up and show that leadership.
Now here's Payton. Shoots over Ball. Excellent D there from Ball. And so Curry will bring it up for the Charlotte Hornets. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. To the inside. Joy. Yes!
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that. What a huge play coming through when it matters most.
We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, I think you want to milk your possessions. And hustle like that is why he leads his team in rebounds tonight.
And let's be honest, guys, rebounding is about want. And he is playing with 110% effort.
That bucket was absolutely huge. A defensive stop now. They just seal the deal.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. Coach clearly feeling the necessity to regroup with so much at stake here. Guys, what's your take on how they maximize their opportunities now?
Yeah, always intriguing to see what a coach draws up in this situation.
If they've got a surefire quick bucket play, let's just say now's the time to use it.
Now Payton. McCollum outside. Back to Payton. To stop the drought. Ooh, offline.
And they had a foul to give, but you want to use it on the ground.
He sinks the clutch free throw. Boston making a switch here. And so both free throws good that time. That puts him ahead.
It's easy to see why his teammates trust him. He's a leader on this team and loves coming out huge in the clutch.
And so it's Charles Lee calling timeout. No doubt he is feeling the importance of this moment right now. Guys, what are their best options now?
And this is it, guys. Down one, they've got just enough time to work it around for a good shot, and it better be a good shot because it's the only shot they have.
And so it's Charles Lee calling timeout. This is a huge moment, folks, in this game, and he wants to be prepared. So I'm looking at the clock, and guys, the situation. What do you think we're going to see next?
And this is it, guys. Down one, they've got just enough time to work it around for a good shot, and